Hello, welcome back for another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Snob. Today I'm going to be trying out this Talisker from the Isle of Skye. It's a single malt Scotch, 45.8% in alcoholic volume. I know Talisker's a quite a well-known brand internationally. It's done so well. There's a lot of people who like the Talisker 10 as their daily tipple. I know that a lot of people were disappointed with the Dark Storm and so on, however, including myself. However, this Distiller's Edition and the range that they've been releasing over the past few years have always been really well. That might have something to do with the fact that it is double matured in Amoroso sherry casks. Let's get that open. There we go. Basically what that means is that it's matured normally as a 10-year-old would in American oak, that would hold ex-bourbon, bourbon that had previously been holding bourbon, which imparts the notes of vanilla and spiciness and all that stuff. Then they take it out of those bourbon casks and they put it into Amoroso sherry casks. What happens then is you then start getting a richer colour, richer flavour in the whiskey, and they do it so well. The one thing that I do like about Taliskers is that the peat is not the same as an Isla peat. It's not that TCP. It's slightly different, and the brininess, the saltiness of the liquid is quite evident in Taliskers. So let's just get stuck in straight away. That sweetness from that sherry, a little bit of smoke. You can't really tell yet that this whiskey is going to hold much peat. There is that smokiness to it, but not as much as you would get with a Lafroig or an Ardbeg or a Lagavulin. Lots of sultanas and rich sort of fruitiness that you get from sherry finished whiskies. The colour's beautiful. The colour is almost like a dark or like a golden syrup. Wonderful. It's quite crisp as well. It's very fresh. Lots of ripe fruits in there. And a little bit of heather honey. On the palate straight away. Rich treacle sweetness, quite spicy from the quite spicy. Again, lots of ripe, juicy fruits. The peatiness is there, but it's not. It is strong, but it's not overpowering. It's married really well. The way that they've worked this has been fantastic. The spiciness continues in towards the finish. Because of the sherry, it becomes quite dry, and you don't lose any of the spiciness though. It continues to linger on. What you might find with some sherry cask finished whiskies is that the finish is slightly shorter because of the dryness. However, this continues on. I think because it only spends maybe a year or so in a sherry cask, it doesn't take on too many of the properties. However, that sweetness, and you can definitely smell and taste the sherry. Strong in vanilla. It's a little bit like bread and butter pudding, with the raisins and that vanilla sort of custard. But again, that dryness and that spiciness just continues on. It's not a very overpowering, peppery taste, but it does linger towards the end. And even after the flavours of the whiskey have gone, that pepper still hangs around on the tongue, just tantalising and tingling, leaving a little bit of heat. Although it is quite dry, it's a really, really decent whiskey. It's not very strong, it's only, like I said, 45.8%. I'm going to add just a few drops of water. And what this should do, it should open up some of the more floral notes of the whiskey, which it has. You're getting just a touch of orange blossom on there now, on the nose. The palate's a lot calmer. The peppery spice dissipates just slightly, but it's still evident. You can really feel it on your tongue, and that sweetness has opened up as well. You're starting to get some boil fruits, some boil sweets, excuse me, and something else that I'm getting, which, and of course the briny, the saltiness. It's almost like a salted toffee. And adding the water hasn't affected the finish at all. It's still there, it's still lingering, it's still spicy, and it's still dry. It's a really good whiskey, and you know, it's an affordable release. It's an affordable bottling from Talisker. You know, they do really, really well. These this whiskey in particular was bottled in 2003, and it was distilled in 2003 and bottled in 2014, so it's 11 years old. It's that double maturation really brings out a lot of that sweetness from the sherry casks, that spiciness, that dryness, and it's a really enjoyable whiskey. If you're having a night in, you know, I like whiskies for different occasions. Some nights I come in, I want something that's quite light and quite floral. Some nights I come in, I want something that's a bit smoky. Some nights I come in and I want something that's a bit dry, so I might go for a sherry finish whiskey. This is a fabulous whiskey. It has an oily texture. It's got an oily finish. You can almost chew the whiskey. Wonderful. And it's another whiskey that I have multiples of in stock and on my shelf. You can see here that I've got another closed bottle right here. Maybe one day I'll take you guys through the entire collection. You guys can see what's around and what I have in the house, what I keep at home, and you can suggest maybe something to try or to open. I'll be willing for that. Once again, these are readily available. You can get them pretty much everywhere, so it's not like it's a limited edition, or it's not like it's they're hard to come by. They're sold pretty much all over the world. Get your hands on one. It really is an enjoyable whiskey to have and to have at home and to share with friends. If you have any other comments, or if you've got any other tasting notes from this, please do let me know right in the comment section. I'll be happy to read them and to respond. Once again, thank you very much for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe to the videos, like the videos, and also leave a comment of any other suggestions that you might have. Thank you again. Cheers.